Hey everybody, hey, it's Lee Godbold with Junk Removal Authority. Hope you guys are doing excellent today. What I want to talk to you today is about as you grow, you get a little bit of a target on your back. People kind of realize, well, this particular company's got some money or they're making some noise and you kind of want to try and drag them down or go after them or whatever like that. So always keep in mind as your company grows, you need to keep some money away for potential legal defense, probably for something. Most likely, if you operate like we do, where we operate on the straight and narrow, that you didn't ever do anything wrong. But see, the United States of America, generally, they can sue you, and a lot of times you have to pay your legal defense costs, even if you're in the right. So you always want to keep some of that money to the side as you get larger. When you guys are small, you're not really much of a target. Once you obtain some size and you have some resources, then you become more of a target because people know you've actually got something of value to get back. So probably many of you have seen the post. There's been a Facebook ad that's been circulating around. It talks about 1-800-GOT-JUNK and Junk Doctors. And Junk Doctors is my junk removal company that was founded in North Carolina, just in the state of North Carolina. That's an important thing here. We're not across the country. That 1-800-GOT-JUNK and Junk Doctors may have, keyword there being may have underpaid employees in terms of not paying them for time they did work off the clock, in terms of not paying overtime, maybe not paying proper lunch breaks, potentially. I'm trying to remember what else it says. Not paying a minimum wage. There's several things that it really listed on there. And I can't really speak for Got Junk other than Got Junk and us have been talking. So Thursday or Friday, the VP, second in command with Got Junk called and we spoke, and essentially, we are sending a cease and desist to this attorney, and I can't give a ton of details. I don't really have a whole lot of information. We don't know, was it a disgruntled employee that filed it, how we got drug into it. Are we even supposed to be listed on there? Because you've got Junk, which is the largest junk removal company in the world, and then you got Junk Doctors, which is in three cities in the state of North Carolina. And they're sending this ad that mentions the name Junk Doctors throughout the entire country. So part of me wonders, if somebody didn't just screw up, it's an attorney out there trying to drum up claims, and they've got Junk as the big one, and then they just found another sizable junk removal company, and thought we were maybe a franchise or something, and we're not, and we got drug in. I don't know. It could be a disgruntled employee, somebody we let go for underperformance that filed something. So anyway, all I can speak for is on our end with Junk Doctors. On the payroll stuff, there is in no way, shape, or form are they going to find us outside of anything, any law, any North Carolina state law or federal law around employment. It's just not going to happen. And we pay our people, and we pay them on time, and I always have, because if you don't, they don't show up, they don't do a good job, they don't represent your company well. We wouldn't have 1,500 reviews, not just Google, but Google reviews, Angie's List, Home Advisor, Google Guaranteed reviews is probably 1,500, 2,000 reviews now. We wouldn't have that if we were underpaying these guys or if we weren't paying them well, because they wouldn't represent us well to the customer. So that is the number one priority before we pay anything. Before we pay a truck bill, we're making sure the guys are paid. We also pay pretty well. We pay between $14 to $21 per hour for our truck team. So a guy start out at 14, goes all the way up to $21 an hour. We had guys last year made almost 50 grand between all the overtime hours they got through the busy season. That's another important part. We paid overtime, time and a half. That's what's required in North Carolina. Anything over 40, time and a half. We paid that out. In terms of administering our payroll, we've been with ADP for years. ADP is probably the largest payroll provider in the country. We use an ADP app. The guys clock in on the ADP app, records when they clock in and records when they clock out at the end of the day. It computes all that. It tracks it. Also, if they hit overtime, it's going to flag it hit overtime. That time data gets sent off to our payroll administrator through ADP, who then computes all the time together. This is the amount that all the employees are owed, sends that over to us. We review it. We say, yeah, this payroll looks good. And our payroll, typical every 2 weeks, might be 40 grand. And they say, we say, yep, this is good. ADP issues it. It gets sent direct deposit. So we've been doing that for years. And ADP keeps on top. They're a HR company also. So one of the reasons we use ADP is ADP makes sure we stay in compliance with any changing laws or anything like that. Lunch breaks. They get a paid lunch break. The guys, when they come and work with us, in the state of North Carolina, you're not required to give a lunch break. They get one. They don't know exactly what time. And a lot of times the guys just get it on the road. For that reason, if they have time to stop, or if they choose to stop, they can. We don't require them to clock out. They can take up to an hour break without having to clock out, just depending on how the schedule comes together. So they're paid literally from the time they walk in the office door to the time they end. If we have a gap in jobs, if there's a customer cancels and there's 2 hours, well, they put out flyers or something like that. They stay on the clock the entire time. So there's nothing they could possibly find on RN on anything to do with underpaying employees. So it's either they probably just randomly picked us because we're a decently sized company. We show up really well in the internet results to kind of put out there. So, hey, we've been we consult junk removal companies throughout the country. We make sure that we're doing the stuff right so we can teach people the right thing to do. JunkRA.com. The same thing on the marketing. All of our marketing completely white hat. We're not going to do SEO. When we do SEO and Google Ads, we want people building a business for the long term. So we're not going to try short-term gains, black hat techniques, or even gray hat techniques, really, that are going to get you short-term rankings, but then you risk a manual penalty where you are eliminated from Google forever. So wrapping back around to the way this started, we're approaching, it's just kind of wait and see. You know what? A wise man told me a long time ago, the larger you get, you better have money set aside. So we got a fund that I just got money in it, just to, if the day ever comes, when it comes, where we get sued, there's plenty of money in there to pay defense bills or whatever like that. So it's just one of those business things, that's all there is to it. And I'll make sure we keep everybody updated as it progresses. It's very, very interesting. You really know junk removal as a whole is starting to become much larger when you've got attorneys that are really chasing after you. So, hey, appreciate everybody watching. It's Lee Godbold, Junk Removal Authority. Check us out at JunkRA.com. Thanks, guys.